me get this tweeted out here so everybody can join in. 1 second, please. All right. There. There. Good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. So, what a day today. Huge gap up and then a big reversal and then another big reversal. Back to the old V reversals. So good stuff. We haven't seen those in a while. But good stuff. They're back and better than ever, right? So good stuff, guys. Today we're going to be continuing our series, finishing up our series this week on understanding Wolfe waves. And today we're going to be talking about contraindicators. Okay? So before we get started, though, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off in the market today, and then we're going to take a look at the futures and see where we're up to or down to here this evening, and then we're going to go through the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right. So SPX, guys, up 28 points today. It's so funny on the lunchtime market update video today. We were like down like 2 points, right? So it's like, oh, we're up 28. Goodness gracious. So again, still continuing to plow its way up here, guys. Over the upper Bollinger Band here on the monthly chart. Weekly chart, I mean, we're overbought, right? So on the RSI, finally on the weekly chart. So, but the real question is, when's this thing going to really be done, right? When's this big wave going to be done? So, we kind of went through our first zone, where we thought things were going to get moving here kind of early, mid-April. Not yet. So now it's kind of like, okay, if we stay bullish up here, we could have until like May, like sometime like mid to late May. So we'll see how that goes here. But we are pushing above our upper Bollinger Band again, and we have a little bit of bearish divergence here, but it seems to be working its way back up to kind of eliminate this bearish divergence. But again, this one kind of stays intact for a while. But a lot of times, we like a fresh one, but we'll see how that goes. But again, keep an eye on this, guys. We could stay overbought for a while. Remember, this took about like 10 weeks here before this crash actually ended up happening, right? So we'll see where we go from there. In the meantime, right, big bounce off of the ADMA today with increased volume on the SPY, right? And if we go to our Elliott Wave count on this one, it's a little bit of a tricky one right here, but generally, no matter how you slice it and dice it, it's pretty bullish, right? So, I mean, we're back to, unless this was an end of a wave right here, and this is kind of a 1-2 and start to work its way down, right? We see an ABC move right here. You can look at this as a 1-2, right? 1-2 right here to work its way up, because I don't believe that this took out the prior levels, did it? This low right here was 76.22, and this was 76.81, right? So this really could be a 1-2, 1-2, and still work its way up here, or you just look at this as a 1-2 and then still work its way up. So I mean, generally, no matter how you slice it and dice it, it's still a pretty bullish wave count overall. And that's why I'm saying, guys, I kind of did an extension on this one here today, and I basically got us up to 4550 as a potential area of interest. So 4400 was our first projected target that we've been talking about for months in the newsletter. It looks like we're going to hit that. So, but if we do pass that, 4550 looks pretty interesting. So keep an eye on that one in case we keep going. Anyway, let's see with the futures and see what's going on here this evening. So, okay, we're down a little bit here. All right, we're down about 7 points. I mean, there's some weak charts out there. I mean, Apple did the same thing AMD did, right? Great earnings and then complete reversal, right? So we had this bearish engulfing candle today on Apple. We had one on AMD yesterday. So Apple, if it's down, could really weigh heavy on the market, right? So we'll see how that goes, right? We had double inside 60 to finish the day today, and let's take a look here at the 15-minute chart. Yeah, you can see here we're dropping pretty nicely right there. So again, wild day today, guys. Right off of our signal zones down here from yesterday's lows, right? So we basically just kind of tagged that. We got short here on this wave right here. This one just kind of was is like, what? Really? It's actually going down, that type of thing, right? And then we caught this bounce, and then we're like, okay, yeah, this one's ready to go. And then we pointed out this bounce right here, too, and I got out early, and I shouldn't have, right? I was trying to trail candle by candle right here today on this one, right? So this was long off of this candle, right? Trail. I actually took profit here because I didn't want it to pull back like as sharply as it was. I wanted to be careful to make sure it wasn't just like a nasty retrace, and but it just kept going, right? So I mean, I really should have just kept my stop here, right, and then just kind of trailed, and would have been an incredible move. So, but anyway, good stuff, right? So it was pointed about some nice moves in the group right there. It could be bull flagging here going into the evening, but it's some interesting selling going on right here. So I'm not sure. I don't think any news came out or anything like that. But pretty interesting. Some decent volume coming in on that 15-minute candle. So we'll see where we open. Lots of levels, and of course we'll have them all updated for the bubble report tomorrow. So good stuff. All right, well let's wrap up this topic here for the week, and then we'll get into questions and chart requests. So this week we've been talking about understanding Wolfe waves, and today we're going to talk about contraindicators. Right. So again, just a quick review. Anybody who's tuning in first time here this week, right? Wolfe wave is all it is a rising wedge. It's a methodology for trading rising wedges and falling wedges. Right. Brian Wolfe, when he found that he just became incredibly fascinated by these wedges, right? He's like, this is like, he's a trader for 40 years. He goes, he sounds like a FinTwit. FinTwit loves rising and falling wedges, right? So, but it's basically a methodology for trading this stuff. So, but the idea is, right, is that you look for your counts, right? And you look for, you basically have, come into the wedge 1, 2, wave 3 always exceeds wave 1, right? So the end of wave 3 always exceeds wave 1. 4 should not pass wave 2, right? So in here, right, wave 5, and then go, right? It's a reversal method, right? And so just like harmonics, right? And very, very similar to harmonics, just a slightly different structure, right? So so we got this, and yesterday we talked about the sweet zone, right? So we had the sweet zone where you want to try to hopefully buy the wave 5. If you can get in here, a lot of times it does bounce off of the trend line here from 1, 3, 5. Right? A lot of times it does bounce off of that. But if you can catch it in here for a nice move, that can actually make some stuff happen, right? So so cool. So that's kind of where we left off here. We talked about a lot of the basics of that. We also talked about trend lines and how they reversals off of trend lines. Sometimes you find a good Wolfe wave there. So so that's why it helps to keep track of trend lines, and also then watch the price action after that. So and look for these wedges. So anyway, so good stuff there. So so today we're going to talk about contraindicators. So what does that mean? So what I really like about how Brian Wolfe described it is, he's a very practical trader. He's like, hey, the first sign of trouble, get out. Right? So, okay, well, what does that mean for sign of trouble? Well, just because it pulls back a little bit or what? So one of the things that he says, watch out for contraindicators, right? And so, so there's two things I just want to mention today. One is sort of not necessarily a contraindicator. It's sort of like confirmation. We'll talk about that in a second. But the next one that we're looking at is what he called a contraindicator, where you're basically trading a Wolfe wave on, say, a larger term time frame, but you get a Wolfe wave that is looking to work in the different direction on a lower term time frame. So so just an example today here, you guys, you can see on the 15-minute chart. You can see on the 15-minute chart here, right, that we had that we basically had a Wolfe wave setting up here today on the. Let's go to SPX. Sorry, I had the. So pretty cool stuff. So we actually had a Wolfe wave setting up coming in today here on the SPX, and so one of the things I like about this is the kind of how big the sweet zone was, right? So so here basically we can go back here and just kind of look at the this was looked like a rising wedge going into today, right? So if we kind of come back here, right, to these lows right here, you can see this, right? We actually started to count this. In fact, this is pretty good. We started to count this as an Elliott wave. So let me activate this. So this is this would be the wave 1 right here. Let me make sure I've got it right here. Yep, so this is good. Wave 1, wave 2. So I'll just use these, right? Wave 3 right here going past the start of wave 1, right? Okay. Wave 4 here. Okay, and so where's wave 5, right? So you basically start to draw. This is before today, even happened, right? So we had some harmonics in play today, which helped us get bearish on the market here today too. But one of the things that we look at is right, where's the sweet zone, right? So this is a consideration here, right? That could have been a wave 5 right here to work its way down, which is pretty cool. But if you look at this, it's just kind of just being a quick tick, and that this thing could have some more in it, right? One of the things that we do is we look for those sweet zones. We go here, right? This, right? And we look for a retracement into this area, right? So this is your sweet zone right here. We actually had a nice one here. That was a good short opportunity there yesterday, but into today, this is still valid, right? And so at that point, we would look for some increased volume candles that worked its way down. Basically, this candle right here was a really, really nice one today to look for a short. So what he's saying today for a contraindicator, and I don't exactly have an amazing example of this one here today, but I kind of do. I mean, it's kind of. Is basically just the looking out for the reversals. And so what we would do is going into today is during here, if we go to the 5-minute chart, right, if we start to see a Wolfe wave setting up on the on a lower term time frame. And one of the things he cautions about is the 1 minute time frame. He says he typically doesn't worry about that. Right, he doesn't. He's like, well, if I see a Wolfe wave setting up on a 1 minute time frame, I'm not too worried about that. But something lower like the 5 minute time frame, that starts to become a concern. Right, so so pretty interesting stuff there. Unfortunately today, hold on 1 second. So unfortunately today, we didn't get a contraindicator on this one, but the idea is that if we saw a falling wedge, like a countable falling, you can kind of maybe sort of look at this. So 2, 3, 4, right? So one thing you could look at here is that maybe that this was kind of coming in today. Once it was working its way down, right? That on this time frame, we could kind of look at this as a. I'm going to go ahead and label this as a 1, and I'm stretching right here because I'm trying to show this as an example. 1, here 2. This is a large one. 3, right? See how 3 crossover wave, the wave right here. 4. Oh, sorry. 3, 4. Right? And so what he doesn't want to do, right, is if this thing starts to work its way back up, right, he doesn't want to trade in the opposite or into the direction of a Wolfe wave setup. And actually, this isn't a horrible example. This is a truncated wave 5. And notice how from here, this pullback, right, this is your wave 5 right here, right, and then ends up, boom, launching its way to the upside. So once he starts to see something like this set up, right, and you can kind of see the falling wedge-ish type formation here, right, you can kind of see that's a tough right there, guys. I apologize. That's a really tight one here, but let's see if we get this. It really just didn't do it. One thing we could do is this. Sorry, I was trying to do it, just spotting it here, right? You can kind of see like wave 4 in there, 5. And you can really kind of, because it does look falling wedge-ish, right? So you can see that falling wedge coming through here. If you start to see that forming on the lower term time frame here, like on the 5 minute chart, right, he's going to get out, right? So especially if it starts to trigger like it did here. And this looks like a valid wave, and then starts to work its way up. Right, so profit from it, right? But as soon as you start to see contraindications on the lower term time frames, right, is a good indication or a good signal to get out. Okay, so cool. So that is one of the examples of the contraindicators. The other thing that he talked about that I just wanted to go ahead and mention is the importance of these pivots, right? So if you go to the SPY, right, what he notices is on these on these waves is that if you start to see one setting up, typically when there's a pivot point, there's increasing volume, right? So it helps you draw the wave, right? So you can see here, there was a turning point right here. Look at the volume, increasing volume on that, right? So typically on these turning points, right, you can start to see some increasing volume, right? So here's a little bit tougher, but there was, right? Here's your move right here, increasing volume right there, right? On those pivots. Here, clearly overlaps each other, right? So big move right there. And look at that. When you get to the top, increasing volume. This is a cool tool, not just for Wolfe waves, but also for trading in general, right? If you're concerned of whether or not you're at a turning point or this thing's ready to go in a different direction, look at the volume. See what kind of volume's coming in here, right? So look, you got this big volume off of this shooting star candle right here. Chances are it's working on a reversal pattern. Right, so that's really, really cool stuff and really helpful too, and that helps form the waves to, what he would say he would look for a significant wave is look for that volume or a turning point with the volume. But I think it also going to be applied to for other trading as well. So anyway, guys, that wraps up our series here for Wolfe waves. So hopefully you guys found that helpful this week. It's a cool tool. If you want to explore more on it, you can just you can look up Brian Wolfe's ebook out there just on Wolfe waves or Street Smarts. Right, we talked about that, so some good information there. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate everybody for checking this out. Hopefully you guys found that helpful. At this point now, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we will go through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. And don't forget, tomorrow is Friday, so we've gotten through Fed Day, we've gotten through Apple earnings, and we've gotten through Amazon earnings. So the big, the World Series of earnings is done this week, right? Coupled with on the other channel the Fed Madness, right? So we have that going on there too. So we're done with that. So hopefully now, premiums get a little bit more reasonable for us, and we'll be able to get some really, really cool trades. So anyway, good stuff there. So good. So Dylan sent in one via Twitter. So he's got Trip. Dylan, hope you're doing good out there. So Trip, let's take a look. So Trip, guys, this was on our bearish radar not too long ago. We had this big breakdown candle right here with increased volume. We had this breakdown candle with increased volume. So a lot of these looking interesting. Double pause there right here and starting to follow through the downside. It may get a little more measured move down. So just got to keep an eye, see if it breaks down below these lows and see where it goes from there. But that's looking a little bit sketch. Of course, if it does start to work its way up, right? Watch the what kind of volume you get going back into the cloud, in the daily cloud there. So good stuff there. Shirley sent a few in via email. Shirley, I hope you're doing well out there too. You got G-Box. Green box, I love it. So nice push there with increased volume into the cloud. Looking pretty good. Just be careful, right? A little bit flaggish, kind of wedgish type pattern right here, right? So a little bit of caution here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See ya, right? Watch out for that wedge. So a little bit of caution there on the potential Wolfe wave. But good stuff there. Fedex, let's take a look. Fedex with the inside day up today. It didn't care today. I think UPS is strong too. See if we can continue to get some follow through on that one. CMA. Comerica with a gap up and held the prior pivot, so nice stuff there. And then Bank of America, guys, incredible move on this one today. This is actually a shortable opportunity intraday. We talked about this on the lunchtime market update today, and this is actually a decent candle here to start to get short on, this red candle. Everything else is bearish in the market. The XLF just hadn't caught up yet. It had some relative strength. But this is a good short right here on Bank of America today. Then it started to do a harmonic, right? So you can see here, nice reversal. Oh, give a little harmonic up. Oh, finish the harmonic right here, and then worked its way up off of that. So you can kind of see this nice formation here today. Right, so you got this, and then have a nice day, right? So a lot of V reversals today, but a couple of these harmonic type patterns going on today. So Bank of America was pretty cool, but this is a nice shortable opportunity there today as well. So good stuff there, and thanks, Shirley. I really appreciate it. Krishna, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, let's take a look at that CRM. How are we handling that channel? So down to, it looks like it rejected the top of that channel, didn't it? Well, that's interesting, right? So not as much volume as I'd like to see on it, but this could be the first test of a breakdown of it. So let's see how it goes. We're still holding on to the ADMA, but if this thing really starts to get going, right, you got a nice move down, potential move down there to the bottom of the channel. So keep an eye on that one there. BABA, of course. Again, rough move, guys. We got the nice push up to the 50-day. Gave us a little bit of an opportunity the next day. Ended up pulling back here to the ADMA. See how that holds. It's getting tight here at the 50-day next to it. So if the 8 can cross the 50, maybe we can get in that cloud and get going. Give it a little bit of time. NNDM, let's take a look. So NNDM, just kind of doing its thing right here, curling around. We got the ADMA sitting on it right here. I want to take one more look at BABA. Sorry, guys. Yes, BABA's just kind of hanging in there too. But good stuff there. And let's take a look at Snap. Snap still just kind of hanging on to this this geometric line here so far. So big doji, big who knows, right, on this one. So just let's see if it can give us some indication. Of course, Fedex. Hey, great minds think alike there with Shirley. So nice one on Fedex. Just super duper strong here, guys. Keep an eye on it. I would give it until maybe give it to this like 300, 302 area. We talked about this A, kind of B. It looks like B is still kind of in the works right here, right? So. So here, kind of have this A, B, C. It looks like it could be working on either way. It looks like it could be doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See if it gets up to this 300, 305 level, and then it starts to work on another impulsive move down. So typically you wouldn't get a 3, 3, 5 like this. So this could have been the A, B, C down. This is an impulsive move up, and then we might get a corrective wave off of that. So I'm actually going to take this off here. I'm just going to keep I'm going to keep this wave here, this wave 5. And then we'll see if it starts to reverse off of that, maybe into earnings. So something to keep an eye on there. But it looks like it's still got some strength in it. So good stuff there. Appreciate it. Yeah, Fedex looks like a cup and handle pattern breakout today. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to, right? So a nice move right here. Yeah, you got a good. Here's your cup. Here's your handle. Right, nice breakout here with increased volume. So good stuff. Yeah, see if it can continue to work its way up. So again, I think it might want to try to finish this wave 5, and then once it kind of gets up here-ish, like 302-ish, right? If start to look for some bearish action, see if it's ready to pull back. So good stuff there. What else? Awesome. So bullish bearish trades. What's going on? Good to see you, Diz. Yeah, Diz up about a point here today. Back over the ADMA. Still tight in this range, right? So you kind of have this type of look to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's an A. Potential Wolfe wave right here, right? So didn't quite get all the way to the bottom. That's okay. Still could be working on a wave 5 up. Let's see if we can break out of these levels here. If we were to do this, looks like we got the 1, 2, 1 here. Let me get this. Remove 1, 2, 3, 4. If we go like that, it's pretty steep right there. But I mean, if it did work its way up, that'd be a pretty epic move back to all-time highs on Disney if that Wolfe wave ends up playing out. Good find on that one. Let's take a look at XLF. Let's see. So XLF with a push up here. Doji sandwich up today on the XLF. Like I said, guys, strange strength today in the banks, but it is what it is. Let's see if they can keep going. I mean, they might have more room to go. They might have more room to go. I wouldn't be surprised if they get up to like 38-ish, before calming down a little bit. I mean, it's been such an epic run. So good stuff there. And then the EFX, let's take a look. Equifax. Changing the shape of global commerce, I guess. Anyway, so interesting little kind of hanging manish type candle right here, but it is getting tight up in that area. So see how it holds, look for clues, and look for breakouts one way or the other. Good stuff. Krishna, yay, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks for the kind words. Thanks for the thank you. I appreciate it. Good stuff. Good. Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look at Amazon. So, guys, Amazon, we did a little bit of a poll yesterday, right, to be like, where do we go? Are we going to all-time highs, or are we going back in the trend box, right? And so here we are in the trend box right here. Right now, we're at, what's the all-time high? 35.52 and 25 cents. Look where we are after hours. 35.52 by 35.53. So we're basically sitting at the top of the trend box right now. Let's see where we open. If they can push above it and gap and go, or if they just end up staying in the trend box and fade and don't get to all-time highs. Whoa! Neck and neck here is pretty wild stuff. So let's see what it does tomorrow. Crazy stuff. I can't imagine it really doing a major gap and go, right? Because it's got so much work to do. I mean, it had a great move here. The algos pushed it up here, but for it to get another 100 points up pre-market, they'd have to announce like the split. That they're going to do a split tomorrow morning, right? For that thing to just get going again. So we got that going on. And then Netflixius, yeah, still below the gap, right? So just kind of chopping around here for a while. So it might go sideways again, just, maybe till mid-May. And then maybe it'll get going. I mean, it's just blah right now. I mean, it might test again. It might get a couple little dip buys in here, maybe some intraday trades, but right now it's just like blah. So anyway, good stuff. Really appreciate it. Michael, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at MViz. Let's take a look at MViz. Oh no. MViz not so good anymore. Microvision, what happened? We talked about it yesterday, right? The potential for working its way into this gap here and testing the ADMA off of that inside day. Beautiful move. So good stuff there. Twitter. This is an interesting one, right? So this is beat on earnings, beat on revenue, and all you can do is just picture Jack Dorsey's quarantine face, right, with the haircut and the nose ring and stuff. Anyway, down here, 50, it just got clobbered. Good earnings, good revenue, and they beat on average daily users. They beat on everything. Crushed. So, sorry, Twitter. Anyway, we'll see where it goes tomorrow. We were actually saying that one looked pretty bearish going into today, so it's kind of neat. So we'll see how that goes. So good stuff there. And say ADVM. Let's take a look. ADVM. Oh, just clobbered. What is this? Some biotech? Yeah, biotechnology. So you guys in your biotechs, amazing. Why is it plummeting? Somebody gave it Goldman Sachs gave it a buy rating. Yeah, downgrade there. Adverse reaction. Upgraded. Yeah, that might be down for the count for a little bit right there. So that's pretty nasty. Ocul. Let's take a look. Ocular Therapeutics. That is a nice candle right there. Yeah, strong on that one. Looks like it's pushing up here after hours. Kara. Let's take a look. Kara Therapeutics. Oh, just brutal. Oh, it's down here, guys, if you're looking for it. Here's the candle down here. Wow. And then TCAT. Remember this name? Okay, yes. This is wild here, right, with the NFTs, right? And pulling back a little bit, bounce off its 50-day, right? And so kind of making a move here. Pretty cool stuff. Amazing move on that. Great finds, Michael. I really appreciate it. So see ya. Good to see you. Roy, what's going on? Good to see you too. Let's take a look at Baidu. So Baidu's still chopping around this area right here. Below the ADMA, though, today. Keep an eye on it. Might with that volume and that kind of candle, it might get a little bit of action tomorrow if the Chinese sector gets a little bit weak today or tomorrow. Netflix, again, just like we just looked at here, just kind of chopping around. This is just a range that I put it in recently, but the trend box is right here, right? So we're basically, maybe it'll just kind of continue to chop here. I mean, it hasn't even, it attempted to get into the gap kind of sort of the other day, and it just by a gap, and then just completely rejected it. So I'm not saying it's really bearish right now, but I wouldn't surprise to see it just chop for a while, right? So let's keep an eye on that one. Could be interesting. And Roku. Okay, so Roku guys with the gap up this morning on an upgrade. And then big reversal again today. So kind of a bearish engulfing candle. So increased volume. Still bearish on this one, right? I'm still looking at the potential for the zigzags down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC up. 1, 2. Whoop. Have a nice day, right? Let's see if it goes. I'm not saying it's going to get here, but I definitely think we should keep it on the price action, keep it on the bearish radar. So good stuff there. And good. What else? The Nest, what's going on? Yeah, let's take a look at Viac. Let's see how that did here today. So again, Archegos Capital and those up a few. Gosh, it's just not going. This thing's gonna go eventually. Just got crushed, for just because of the Archegos dump. But we'll see how that goes there. And Win. Let's see what Win is a winner. I love it. It was yesterday. Nice push yesterday, and kind of an engulfing-ish candle here today. But see how it holds. See if we continue to work its way up. Hanging in there. Michael, yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. Adriana, good to see you. Let's take a look at Starbucks. So Starbucks with earnings yesterday, right, looking pretty rough. And then almost a professional gap up today. It did have a decent little gap up today and kind of came up and started to work its way up into the gap. So nice move there, even after I believe they had good earnings. Right, beat on earnings. So again, nice push there. See if Starbucks continue to work its way up. Good find. So falling wedge, that is what Paul was tracking of Regeneron back in January, I guess, never ended. Yeah, and that channel, too, the channel bounce, a lot like CRM right now, but except it's at the top of the channel right now. Virendra, what's going on? Going to see a PLBY. Let's take a look. PLBY. So PLBY has been epic for a while, but starting to pull back a little bit here to its ADMA. Bit of a bounce off of that one, so just a little caution, right? What I would do is I would just kind of channel this, right, and just see how it goes. Just kind of see how it holds these levels here. I mean, kind of shift this a little bit, but maybe even here off of this. It's a little bit better. Just kind of keep an eye on that and see how it holds. And if it starts to break down, right, I'd be a little bit concerned. So good stuff there. Ron, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, let's take a look at X. X not marking the spot so much here today, so bearish engulfing candle off of that in the midst of a downtrend, right? And off of a doji below the 80 MA with increasing volume. And looks like they had earnings. Earnings after hours today. They had a beat on earnings. They're up a little bit. It looks like they're going to open pretty flat. So I would definitely keep an eye on this and see how it goes going in tomorrow. Good stuff there. And then Uber, guys. Wow. Big stuff. Big news today on Uber, Lyft, Dash, any gig economy stocks. Secretary of Labor came out and said, he thinks that they should start be treating contractors like employees. It's kind of a big deal, isn't it? Right? So, Uber's gone through this before with California, but not with the Fed, so the federal government. So we'll see how that goes. That could be interesting. So nasty pullback on this one today. Lyft got hit today too, right? Lyft had a big hit today. Dash, right? So a lot of these names, it's going to be. I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of people want to hold on to this, right? Until that stuff gets resolved. So that's interesting. Keep an eye on it. Keep those on the radar. Definitely keep them on the bearish radar. It could be interesting. So good stuff there. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate it. Comp Live Live. What's going on? I'm going to see a VXRT. Let's take a look. So nice move on this one today initially. We talked about this one with some unusual call activity in the bubble report the other day. Inside day up with a good push, but a bit of a shooting star candle after today's initial move. So a little bit of caution. Might want to come back and test the other side of that inside day range. SEOG, NVIDIA. Yeah, NVIDIA, guys. Look at this. Look at this flag. Incredible. Hello, flag. All right, so see if that starts to break out with some volume. It stinks. I can't stand it. I mean, NVIDIA, I love trading this name when it's like, $200, $600. This is getting a little bit harder to trade, but it does give some big moves. So just see how it goes here with this crazy flag. Good stuff there, and then PLTR. Let's see. PLTR still just hanging in here, still holding onto the geometric line. So good stuff there. Tracy, good evening. Good to see you. Woof. Oh, is that what you wanted to see earlier? You wanted to look at Wolfe? Nice. Apeco Health. Hanging in there. Look at this, Tracy. What an incredible move out of that geometric line right here. Isn't that great? Beautiful, beautiful move. Nice trend line breakout on this one. Just a not super duper clean, but a good move. Generally looks okay. Looks like a fresh move out. Let's get this here. I like how it held those lows too. Right? I just missed it. Anyway, pretend that's going through there. There. So see if it holds your bump line there. If it continues to go. Nice stuff. And Calyx, yeah, I know you asked about this one yesterday. Up a few, gave a little bit of push down to that geometric line, right? And kind of worked its way back up again. So it's got a little bit of something going for it. Kirk, let's take a look. Yeah, Kirk with a nice push right there. Definite, geometric move, right? So a little bit of an upper shadow up there to contend with, right? So just some caution there, right? But generally looking pretty strongly. It's coming out of a triangle, right? Let me get the trend line tool here. There we go. It's coming out of a triangle, right? Nice inside day up. So watch that upper shadow, but if it can get in that upper shadow and stay in there, right, could keep going. So good stuff there. And then Lulu. Oh, one of the harder names to trade. But got really, really tight for 4 days in a row and finally got a little bit of a pop today. Look how hard this one is to trade. Look at that. Yay! 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 Right? Very, very tough. But it's hanging in there. So it's grinding its way up. Stretching its way up. So good stuff there. Adriana, yeah, and Apple, right? Nasty, nasty candle today, right? That's a rough candle after earnings, right? AMD did the same thing yesterday. Bearish engulfing, right? Look at that. Yesterday's candle on AMD. Good earnings, down. Apple, good earnings, down. Right? I mean, it's not down for the count, right? I mean, it's we might start to see like a little bit of a pullback, right? So, I mean, it had good earnings last time, right? Last time, it was a huge beat on earnings, down, 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 and then it went up a little bit, then down, 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 and then it gave us that great harmonic into this earnings, right? So, we'll see what it has in store for us this time. Could be pretty interesting. Good stuff. Brett, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at GM. So GM down a little bit here today. Back to the 50-day moving average. What was the news? Wasn't there some news on this one today? General Motors lower, trading lower. Ford, yeah, Ford expected. Oh, the chip shortages. I guess more chip shortage stuff. Anyway, very, very interesting. So back down to the 50-day moving average, but still, this is good actually. We've been tracking this one here in the bubble report. So I like the lower shadow off this. Inside day down, right? Holding the 618. Right, so this is, we basically just got to the bottom of the channel right here. Keep an eye on this one. I know it's tricky into earnings, but see what it does after earnings. If it gets, good earnings or a boost, right, look for a potential move up to the top of the channel. It's very, very interesting here on GM. Keep that on the radar for sure. Good stuff. And then MRK, let's take a look. MRK with a nasty move. Didn't they have earnings? Was it earnings after hour? It was this morning earnings. Whew, it all blends together. Apparently, yeah, I mean, clearly there was something going on here. So, yeah, nasty got down there on Merck. They haven't done much these days. Anyway, see how it holds, right? We're basically holding this zone right here. So I'm not saying we'll do an instant reversal, but see if it consolidates a little bit and tries to work its way back up. And earnings were not horrible. I mean, there was a little bit of a miss, but still profitable. So it's all good. Good stuff there. Roy, yeah, what's going on? Yeah, so BA, let's take a look. So BA, again, just kind of blah, but I'm still thinking maybe potential symmetrical move down, right? They had some FAA news today. A little bit rough, but then they ended up, it's kind of down, and then they just rubber banded back. Boeing is so great at this. Oh, really bad news? Oh, right, that's the rubber band, right, guys? So, so nice move there, and we'll see where it goes. Oh, this is supposed to be the 15-minute chart here. There, yeah, big rubber band on that one, big bounce. So, see how it holds, but it's still generally looking bearish. See if it continues to break below the cloud, but I'm generally still leaning bearish on it. Possible wave C down to this symmetrical move. So definitely tracking that one. And then Mr. Softy with a nasty pullback today. Some members did well short in this one here today. Ended up holding, right? So basically filled this gap and then kind of bounced off of that. So that's a good thing, right? Nasty at the open, just really, really nasty. So, I mean, there's a couple things you look at, right? So you look at the retrace here, right? Kind of about a 50% retrace there. Really tomorrow, let's see how things handle tomorrow, right? I mean, Amazon's reported, all the big tech names have reported. Right, Microsoft's reported, AMD's reported. I mean, Nvidia's comes out later, but most of the big ones: Twitter, Apple, Facebook, Google, Amazon, Netflix, Fang, right, all the Fang names, Tesla. So things will be interesting. Things might start to take shape now. So let's see how that goes over the next week or so. Could be pretty cool. Good stuff there. Thanks, Roy. And yeah, Viranja, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Gina Solo, what's going on? Yeah, say it, Tesla. Tesla, guys, I'm still got my bearish zigzag wave count on this one. Tweeted this out not too long ago, right? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, 1, 2. Uh-oh. Looks like we're maybe in wave 3, right? 4, 5. 5 fills the gap. Symmetrical move, zigzag, and then we can start working our way back up again. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Could be interesting. And then Roku, basically the same count. So basically the same count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC, 1, 2. Bearish, right? So it's on the bearish radar for sure. So good stuff. So Michael Phillips, oh no, they have to treat their gig employees like humans. These companies. Dire Straits, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Oh yeah, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the kind words. Michelle, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's see Kirk. Kirk, guys, I love it. So yeah, so Kirk again, nice breakout of the triangle here. Good push. Let's see if it can work its way up. This has just been an incredible name. Sometimes just give some wild moves for the group, and then AI. Getting kind of interesting here. So yeah, see if we can get some follow through on that one. AI is looking a little bit rough. It's got to really push. We had we just a couple little bit of volume coming here, but right now it just looks like it's in the middle of maybe a longer accumulation period, right? I just wait to see, look for some clues if this thing wants to get ready to break out. And Money Monster, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at TSM. Yeah, TSM's usually a tricky one with a lot of gaps and everything. Kind of a bearish engulfing candle today, so just keep an eye on that, see how it goes, see if it wants to break down any farther below that, and we'll see where it goes from there. Could be a little mini bull flag too, right? But if it breaks down below today's lows, it's a little bit, so just be careful with that. So either way, could be interesting. Good stuff. Awesome. Well, guys, we're going to be going over a lot of this in our weekly newsletter that comes out on Sunday. We're going to be reviewing, all the FANG names, SPX, the sectors, all the major sectors, like we always do every week, and to give us some good perspective on what to anticipate. So if you're not in the group, definitely consider tuning in and joining us. Check out the links in the description. But anyway, guys, I appreciate everybody for being here. If you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube, and whether you're new here or not, please hit the like button. It goes a long way, even if you're watching the recording. I love going back and seeing that, so it means a lot. So really appreciate it, guys. Thanks everybody for tuning in, for the support. I hope everybody has a wonderful and blessed weekend. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another fun day, bright and early, and I hope everybody has a great night. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game, and we'll talk to you guys soon.